Yo, what up, gang? If you follow me on Instagram, then you know by now that I've picked up a 2015 Ducati Panigale 1199R for myself. This all went down this past Saturday. I picked it up from Newport Beach Ducati, and it's now Sunday, the day before Memorial Day, and I'm riding the bike. I'm breaking it in actually in Malibu on one of my favorite stretches of road on Mulholland. Now, basically, what you see me doing here is pretty much just carrying a decent uh, pace. I'm not accelerating too hard on the straights. I'm just trying to carry good corner speed to gauge how the bike handles on and off the gas in the turns. And what I've felt so far is that the bike is extremely light. It's coming in at 406 pounds wet, which is 11 pounds lighter than the last model. And as you see in that little bump right there, me and the bike went airborne. So I have to get used to how this bike handles. It's so lightweight, it steers in so fast, and almost without you even doing anything. So that's kind of new to me. I mean, being that I do ride press bikes and 1199s from here to here, but it's not on a daily basis. So now I'm going to take some time to figure out the proper technique to ride on this bike fast, which is different from any inline 4 or any other bike to actually, for that matter. So this is it, man. I mean, it's a on paper and aesthetically, you would think that the changes are pretty minimal. They look minimal, but they're pretty substantial if you ride the 2015 models compared to the last models. Because while I was waiting for the paperwork to process on this bike at Newport Beach Ducati, I demoed their 1299S. Took it out for a little spin and immediately noticed the difference between this year and last year's model. Number one, when you start the bike, it sounds different. It has a smoother exhaust note for some reason, which tells you right away like it's going to be a smooth ride. As soon as you take off, it's not lurchy like the last model, which is twitchy and jumpy. It's really smooth and predictable. You have a lot of low-end to mid-range grunt, which is what was needed for that bike, for the last bike. And what can I say, man? I mean, you really have to go test ride one for yourself to really see the difference. I noticed it right away. The bike just felt totally new and different. It felt like a completely different model, actually. It's pretty crazy to make those small changes in the bike to feel that different. So riding the 1199R over the S is actually another crazy extreme, because this bike has a different wheelbase and rake control than the S. It's more extreme. It's geared for racing and track use, so it has a more aggressive setting to it, which I like and which I prefer. It's not really for everyone for the street, but this bike has a taller seat than the last model. What else? The ergos are great. They've always been great on the Panigale. I think the only gripe I had before were the pegs were kind of slippery, but this bike, the pegs are super grippy actually, and I'm just glued to the bike now, which is awesome. I always had to complain about doing that, like riding on the last model. It's extremely slippery. What else can I say? The new clutchless shifting is insane, man. I mean, it's going to blow you away when you're riding in traffic and you come into a light and you don't even have to have your hand on the clutch. You can ride with your hand on your hip all the way to the light and just kick the gears down from fourth gear and come to a stop. It's kind of insane. I mean, the bike, it auto blips for you like a Ferrari Tiptronic, you know. It's kind of insane, the technology that we have now on these bikes. What else is new on this machine? It has wheelie control now. Always had engine braking, traction control. Oh, and it has cornering ABS, which is pretty cool. But obviously I'm not going to exploit that now, since the bike is so new to me. It's going to take time for me to really master the cornering style or the riding style for this machine, because it's totally different from any other bike out there. It's extremely light in its steering. Off the gas, it oversteers a little bit, which is actually good because you don't want a bike to go wide when you roll off the throttle in a turn. So I like that. And the bike does bake for corner speed. It's almost similar to like driving a go-kart, where you off the gas, the bike, you know how the cart turns in super fast? Like that's what this bike does. It feels like a little go-kart, F1 car, when you turn it off the gas. Extremely sharp and razor edged on the line. So I just need to pretty much do a track day and push the limits there and find the limits there. and then come back on the street and ride at a, smooth, confident, comfortable pace. So this is the first day of me riding this bike. I took it through the fast section on Mulholland, and now I'm on a Snake just to fill it out. The next place I'm going to go is probably Angeles Crest to get a better stance on the bike, because I can't really get comfortable on the bike in these short, slow turns in Malibu. So I'm probably going to go to the wider, long sweeping turns so I can start to drop my shoulder and the head to see how that affects the cornering lines. That's a big thing. Body position and how your weight affects the bike. So I'm going to take a lot of time to do that this week, and then maybe possibly go to the track next Sunday at Fontana with Newport Beach Ducati, which is kind of cool. They gave me the invite, so I might show up for that, do a couple laps, find the limits to this bike, because they're extremely high. During this whole run between that fast section and the Snake, I thought I was going, kind of fast. But I looked at my front tire and I had like half an inch left of unused rubber, which is insane. So this bike has a extremely high limit, high threshold, for riding, which obviously means it's their R model. But what can I say, man? I mean, I'm extremely excited to have this bike, and I'm going to share a lot more stories with you guys. There's a ton of pictures on Instagram right now, so make sure you're following me on Instagram at @OurDaysWorld to see all of the high-res pics. And I'm going to be doing a lot of photo shoots and stuff like that with the bike. Here's Ken, aka our Mickey Mouse, setting up before he goes out, put on his little sunblock. Came over to give me some props for the bike. That's pretty much it, man. Make sure you guys share the video. Tell your Ducati friends, and honestly, like if you're thinking about getting a 1299 or the new R1199R, go demo the bike, and you're gonna see for yourself that it's a different bike from last year, from the last model. I'm not even just trying to blow smoke up your ass. It really is. It's night and day. Extreme, like I said, night and day difference. So go see for yourself. You know what I mean? Look out for more videos in the future from me. I'm gonna pretty much document my life with this bike on a daily basis. Living with the Panigale R. So subscribe. Tell your friends about me, and I'll see you guys soon. All right, peace.